Hello, everybody. What an exciting playoffs we have entered into so far. We've downed Detroit, we've downed Florida. Now it's time to face our next opponent. It's time to go into the third round, and no matter what happens, whether it just be this third round or wherever we go, the playoffs finish today. So let's hope we can get past this third round and get to the Stanley Cup Finals, because either way, we find out what happens to our second season with a finish today. So I hope you guys do. But thank all you guys for coming. With that being said, we're not going to take any questions because we've got a third round to win and a Stanley Cup Finals to try to make. So I do appreciate you guys coming to this press conference, but we're going to go focus on our third round. I hope you guys have fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. And I hope we can win our third round of the playoffs. Now the question is, Carolina or Buffalo? Who is Toronto playing? They are playing Carolina in the third round. We just got to wait to see in this 3-3 series who wins, Vegas or Edmonton. Who will be playing Minnesota? Nothing yet between Vegas and Edmonton. It's still a 3-3 series. We will find out after we sim this day. Edmonton goes on to play Minnesota. Edmonton makes it to the third round. Could we have a Canada versus Canada Stanley Cup Finals? Wouldn't that be huge? Bedard versus McDavid. We are talking about it way too soon like it could happen. Bedard is leading the team 12 games, 12 points in the playoffs. Our future is looking bright. Here we go. Game 1, Carolina-Toronto. We're coming in halfway through the period. Connor Brown scores one on Frederik Andersen to take a 1-goal lead. 3 shots Carolina, 4 shots Toronto. We have another power play, but they get nothing of it. Carolina has a power play, but Toronto stops it. Toronto has another power play, but again, cannot do anything with all their power plays. Pacioretty scores another one. Frederik Andersen's going down by 2. We're going into the second period up by 2. 14 shots Toronto, 10 shots Carolina. Whew. What a game we got ourselves going here. Power play Toronto, and they do bury one. Pacioretty, good job. 2 goals in this game. Pacioretty's on fire, and we're coming into the end of the second period with a 3-goal lead. Can they get into it? Yes, they look like they're going to. 24 shots Toronto, 19 shots Carolina. Going into the third period, we have a huge lead to get game 1, but Teravainen buries one. Drouin comes back, the first time we've seen him get a tuck in the playoffs, and he takes it to a 4-1 game, getting that 3-goal cushion back. 31 shots Toronto, 24 shots Carolina. Power play again for Toronto, and they bury Connor Brown, the man that has just been on fire this season. Best signing we had in the offseason, and he is looking to get another contract. Connor Bedard, really, I know you have made commitments to me, but I think we need to reevaluate once I return from injury. Connor Bedard got injured. That's why everyone else is stepping it up. Now that he's back from injury, let's see what happens. He wants more ice time. We cannot give it to him. We are just on fire in these playoffs. I don't know what he wants us to do. We want to win games, and that's how we're going to keep it. Coming in, we are 5 minutes into the second game, first period, still. Oh, Mikheyev buries one. Let's go, 1-goal lead halfway through the first in the second game of the third round of the playoffs. 13 shots Toronto, 6 shots Carolina. The boys are on fire. They want to get a 2-game lead and get a good run on here in Carolina. They know Carolina is a force to play against. They can easily come back and win 4 games straight on us. Brent Burns ties one up. But Zuccarello, big trade deadline pickup, gets us a goal when it's needed the most to get a 1-goal lead halfway through the second period. 22 shots Toronto, 14 shots Carolina. Drouin again scoring to help us out. Tierney making it 3-2 for Toronto as Tierney is trying to pull back and help Carolina claw their way back into this one. The third period, 25 shots Toronto, 18 shots Carolina. The boys need to play solid defense and aggressive offense to try to get another goal and go up by 2. Halfway through the third, it's still 3-2. The boys are flying, 33 shots, 22 shots Carolina, and they're coming into the end of the third. They look like they're going to nail this one down, and they do. Whew! 2-game lead for Toronto. Not only does Toronto have a 2-game lead against Carolina, but Edmonton has a 2-game lead over Minnesota. Connor Bedard, 13 games, 14 points. Let's see if he can keep that up. The kid has been just amazing for us. Coming into game 3 5 minutes in, one shot Toronto, one shot Carolina. Slow playing this, but Toronto gets a power play. They get nothing of it. They should have taken their opportunity. They get another power play, and they again do nothing with it. 5 minutes left in the first. It is still nothing. 7 shots Toronto, 6 shots Carolina. We are going into the second scoreless, and it's really been a slow game. Toronto's had a couple of power plays, and they've done nothing with it. They need to play solid defense and not let Arizona get cooking. We need to get the first goal. Halfway through the second, Nika scores on Marc-Andre Fleury, and then Ryan Suzuki, brother of Nick, comes in and gives them a 2-goal lead. We need a goal here in the second period. Before we go into the third, we're not going to get it. We end the second period, 2-0 Carolina. 19 shots Toronto, 15 shots Carolina. Carolina has a power play. Toronto does not kill it. John Klingberg taking them to a 3-goal lead. This game is just a runaway. Tarasenko trying to claw his way back in, but they just don't know if the boys can do it. Halfway through the third, it is still 3-1 Carolina. The boys just can't bury, even though they're out shooting Carolina 31-28. The game is going to end, and the series 2-1 Toronto. And the series is 2-1 Edmonton. So when we lose, Edmonton loses. Wow. This is going to be just quite the playoffs. Coming in the first period, 5 minutes into the first period, Carolina is just coming out firing, but Toronto, Bergeron buries one right when we need him, but Seth Jarvis ties it up. We need the boys to come back. Power play. They get one on the power play. Zuccarello buries one, making it 2-1. 5 minutes left in the first. Can they keep it? Yes, they can keep the lead. 2-1 Toronto coming into the end of the first. 14 shots to 11. Second period's underway. We're 3 minutes in, and Zuccarello buries another one. This man has been on fire in the playoffs. Giordano buries another one. Mikheyev, runaway in Toronto, runaway, an absolute runaway. They are devastating Carolina, 5-1. 22 shots Toronto, 18 shots Carolina. Coming into the end of the second, Toronto will hold the 5-1 lead. It is going to be quite the third period. Okay, we just need to play 20 minutes of clean hockey, but we don't. We give up a penalty, and Carolina buries 2 goals on a penalty. Oof, we give up another penalty. We are letting Carolina claw their way back. Halfway through the third, we need to fight to hold it. We need to stop taking penalties. 5 minutes left in the third. Toronto gives up another one. 1-goal game after Toronto had a four-goal lead. We've seen this story before, but thank God Toronto locks this game down. Toronto up 3-1 in the series. Edmonton up 3-1 in the series. Zuccarello, Marc-Andre Fleury looking like huge acquisitions at trade deadline day. Can we get past Carolina? Carolina gets a power play, but we kill it. We need to... Lundstrom gets the goal, making it a 1-goal game and an elimination game. Gaudette comes in and scores his first of the playoffs. Halfway through the first, Toronto was a 2-goal lead. Can they eliminate Carolina? 9 shots Toronto, 4 shots Carolina. Coming into the end of the first, 2-0. Let's go. The boys need to just play solid 40 minutes of hockey. 11 shots to 7. Carolina gets 1, making it 2-1 Toronto. Coming in halfway, Carolina gets a power play, and Toronto kills it. Let's go. Connor Brown gets a goal halfway through the second to make it 3-1 Toronto. We're going to be coming into the 5-minute marker of the second period. The shots are close. Joel Armia makes it 4-1. Toronto gets a penalty, and they kill it. Coming into the third period, it's 4-1. The boys are doing fantastic. 21 shots, 16 shots Carolina. 4-1. Can they just lock down this last half of the third period? They kill the penalty, and they're looking like they're going to go and make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, as they're going to win Game 6 to take the series. Game 5, to take the series 4-1. Let's go. The boys are going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Whew! Let's go, everybody. Welcome back. We've won the third round. We put Carolina away. It's time to go to the Stanley Cup Finals. It's time that we try to bring Lord Stanley back home to Toronto. Its resting place is the Hockey Hall of Fame in Toronto. We want to bring it to Toronto. We want the fan base to see someone other than Nazem Kadri running up and down these streets in his convertible with a Stanley Cup. And we do have one question here. Yes. To answer your question, I am nervous. I am super nervous. I'm super excited, and I cannot wait to see how we do. The boys are pumped. They're ready to show this fan base that they have been fighting, and ready to show this fan base they deserve a Stanley Cup. So we're going to get into it. We're going to go talk to the boys. We're going to get them pumped, and let's go win a Stanley Cup. Zuccarello in the playoffs, 17 games, 17 points. What a trade deadline pickup. What a smart GM they have in Toronto. Edmonton, 3-2 that series is. Edmonton, Minnesota. 3-3 series. Is Edmonton going to hang on to make it a Canada Stanley Cup Finals, or is Minnesota going to break hearts? Edmonton and Toronto in the Stanley Cup Finals. Woo-wee. Very similar records. 46 wins for Toronto, 45 wins for Edmonton. The question is, can the boys lock down one more round to win a Stanley Cup? They know who they've got to stop. They've got to stop Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl. Patrice Bergeron gets one past Jack Campbell for a 1-goal lead, but they can't hold back Leon Draisaitl as he scores. We cannot be taking penalties against this team. 5 minutes left in the first. It is 1-1. 14 shots Edmonton. They are firing the puck, trying to get anything past Marc-Andre Fleury. The second period is going to be exciting as the Toronto Maple Leafs need to start picking it up and get back into this game. Halfway through the second, it is still 1-1. Edmonton gets the power play, but Toronto kills it off. They hold back that monster that is the Edmonton power play. The Edmonton Oilers are out shooting the Toronto Maple Leafs by a ton right now as they end the second tied 1-1. Going into the third, we are 5 minutes in. It is still 1-1, but Edmonton gets a power play. Toronto kills it again, holding back that amazing power play that is the Edmonton Oilers. They are fighting. They're fighting. Marc-Andre Fleury facing shots that he's never faced in the playoffs yet before. 38-40 shots. It is going to overtime. 1-1. We're starting the overtime. Toronto gets a power play, and they end it on the power play. Patrice Bergeron scores the only 2 goals for Toronto, winning it a 1-game lead against Edmonton. Whew. We're excited. We are excited. Time to start game 2. Can Toronto take a 2-game lead? 5 minutes into the first, it is 0-0. Edmonton gets a power play. They hold it back again. That it might end up being the story of this Stanley Cup Finals, is the Toronto Maple Leafs holding back the Edmonton Oilers power play. The Edmonton Oilers and Darnell Nurse bury one to take a 1-goal lead at the end of the first. A little buzzer beater, and then it's a 5-on-3, 5-on-4. Toronto kills that off. Oh my God, what a penalty kill. 17 shots, Edmonton, and another power play that Toronto kills off. Edmonton is pushing 24 shots. Toronto hasn't even hit double digits yet. Coming into the end of the second period, it is still 1-0 Edmonton. The third period is underway. Toronto finally gets double digits. 5 minutes into the third, Toronto needs to find a goal. Edmonton is just playing such aggressive hockey. 1-0 Edmonton halfway through the third, and Toronto needs to fight back or they're going to give up a game to a team they don't want to give up a game to. Coming in, 2 minutes left in the period, and they cannot tie it up. Edmonton takes that game. What a series this has become. 1-1 in the Stanley Cup Finals. The Leafs have come out strong. 5 shots, but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins buries one at the start of a power play. Toronto gets a power play. Can they bury one? No, they cannot. Oh, this is not looking good as Toronto's getting shots. Pacioretty comes in and slips one past Campbell. Makes it a 1-1 game. 5 minutes left in the first period. Oh my God, Edmonton goes up 3-1. This is going to be a tough one for the Leafs to come back from. Going into the second period, the Leafs are out shooting the Oilers. They get a power play. They need to score on it, and they don't. Unfortunately, Edmonton and Zach Hyman are going to go up 4-1. This is looking like Toronto might end up getting their first series loss, where they're going to be down 2-1 in this series to the Edmonton Oilers. This is the first time they're going to be down in a series. Can they rebound? As Hollowell puts one in to make it 5-1. Yamamoto makes it 6-1. This game might be a morale killer as the Leafs have played strong with 33 shots and Jack Campbell has just been standing on his head. Halfway through the third, the Leafs are still just firing the puck, but 5-goal deficit is just too much, and the Edmonton Oilers, even though Connor Brown gets one, the Edmonton Oilers are going to take the series 2-1. This is going to be the lead. Going into game 4, The Leafs really need to start out big here, and they don't. Fogel's going to bury one past Fleury. The Leafs get a power play, and they don't make anything happen of it. The Leafs get another power play, and they don't make anything happen of that. They need to tie this game up before it's a runaway like the last one was. Halfway through the first, it is still 1-0 Edmonton, and they get a power play, and they give up a shorthanded goal to Leon Draisaitl. 2-0 Edmonton. We got to start the second period. But is this series going to run away from us? Can the Leafs claw back as Connor McDavid gets his first of the series? Fogel gets his second of the game, 4-0 Edmonton. 10 minutes left in the second period. Toronto needs to find a way to get on the scoreboard to at least get some momentum going, and they're not going to get any momentum going. The second period is going to end 4-0 Edmonton. The Edmonton Oilers have shown nothing but a strong shooting force. Zach Hyman's going to score another shorthanded goal. That's the second shorthanded goal of this game. 5-0 Edmonton. They get a power play, and Edmonton can't score on the power play. Giordano scores again. He has been a weapon in these playoffs. Pacioretty scores 5-2, but this is too little, too late, as these Leafs have just sparked fire way late in this game. Hopefully they can bring it out in the next one, because the next one they could be eliminated. The series is 3-1. The Edmonton Oilers. Who is going to come out? The Edmonton Oilers get a 5-on-3, and the Leafs kill it off. Oh my God. Zach Hyman, as he has been doing all this series, just putting the puck in the net against Toronto. Can Toronto find a way to score before Edmonton just catches fire? And Leon Draisaitl tucks one in, making it 2-0 to end the first period. This is starting to look like a real heartbreaker in Toronto, as they are going down 2-0. They get a power play. They do not score on it. Edmonton gets a power play. They do not score on it. The story of the playoffs are power play is just not working. And Evander Kane gets his first of the series. Can he come out? Come on, somebody. Connor Brown struggling to fight his way back into this playoff series. He does not want to be eliminated yet. Power play Edmonton. 3-1 Edmonton, coming halfway into the third. Power play Edmonton, they get another one. Yamamoto scores again, 4-1, and it's looking like this game might be slipping away. Patrice Bergeron tries to get fire on the team. Pacioretty scores one, 4-3. Can Toronto score with the last 2 minutes of the game? Come on, boys. They tie it up. Tarasenko ties it up with a minute and a half left, sending it to overtime in an elimination game. Can Toronto come back and push this one? They get a power play, and they cannot. Come on, can Toronto? Halfway through, they give Edmonton a power play, and they kill it. Let's go. Can they tuck one in the net? 40 shots Edmonton, 37 shots Toronto. 5 minutes left in the first overtime, and we have a 4-4 game. Power play Toronto, and they don't do anything with it. Second overtime period, Edmonton gets a power play, and they get nothing out of it. The game is over. Edmonton and Evander Kane take the Stanley Cup, and a heartbreaker in Toronto. Oh, what a tough way to end the season. It was a great year, guys. Unfortunately, the Stanley Cup came to Canada, but it was not to the Toronto Maple Leafs. We'd like to hand out a big congratulations to Connor McDavid on his first Stanley Cup, and a big congratulations to the Edmonton Oilers on winning another Stanley Cup. What a disappointing way to end the season. We thought we had it. We were looking good. The team was looking great. Thank you guys for your support and your believing. We're going to have to get back into the war room, and we're going to have to figure out how to piece together another team after we are going to be losing some big pieces that did a lot of work carrying us in the season and the playoffs. We're going to have to take a couple of days to really get past this. This loss is a sting, but we'll regroup and we'll make another run. Thank you guys. Have a good night.